dark. I am dark in here. Hold up. Hey guys. What's up, guys? It's Nikki with That Homeschool Life, giving you a surprise live and falling apart here. All right, let's see if that works. Okay. How are y'all doing? I hope your weekend's getting off to a good start. Today, I am answering a viewer's comment. Well, she's a subscriber, so a subscriber's comment. I told y'all when y'all leave comments, I read them and I answer them. So, and I don't know if she wants me to say her name. So this one subscriber said that her third grader, who's in public school, is showing really some gaps in his math knowledge. And I don't know if she was going to pull him out and homeschool him or if she was going to try to after school him. But essentially, that's a problem I see a lot with families, children who have mathematical gaps in their learning. All of my children have had them. And let's talk about it, because that is something, there's nothing to be ashamed about. It's not a reflection on you. My child went to one of the best elementary schools in our city, and he had some gaps. So it's not a matter of your child being able to learn things. Sometimes it's a matter of how they're presented with the information, how they're taught. It might be in a teaching style that's not aligned with your child's learning style. That seems to be a big problem. Also, the pace of learning might be too quick for your child, and they just needed more time to soak it in to get it. That was the case with my child. So with all that said, that's a long intro. This is Nikki with That Homeschool Life. I create real, honest, and practical videos about homeschool, and I really aim to bring value to your lives, because I appreciate you guys giving me your time and your energy and attention. So to answer that question, what should I do if I see my child is struggling in math? The first thing is start with you, the parent, okay? The first thing I tell families or parents, put your ego aside, okay? Part of you're doing good. You're acknowledging that you see some issues with your child's learning. The second part is to really put that ego aside about how you're going to address that. Now, what do I mean by that? Now, the title of this video is Math Placement Test, and they are free. Now, in the description box below, I have listed, I think, 7 or 8 resources where you can take free placement tests in math. Some are online, some you print out the paper and your child will use pencil and paper to take the assessment. Even if you think your child is really good at math, I urge everyone to do at least once a placement test to see where your child is, because especially children who are gifted, you think, oh, they know this and they know that. And so you don't really look at little weaknesses in their learning. And sometimes those weaknesses are the main things that will trip them up later on in their mathematical career, academic career. This happens in other subjects too, but we're focusing on math. So in my case, my middle son, who was on the spectrum, so he can learn, but he can learn in short little spurts. So we did like the Pomodoro technique, where I would teach him in 10-minute increments. Then I would have him do some kind of sensory activity, and then we would go back to the lesson, and that worked wonders for him. So when he was in this is going to be a long video. So when he was in a charter school, an actual physical charter homeschool, they do assessments twice a year, and at the end of the year, they gave him an assessment, and he did good, but he did bad, because the bad part was his overall score was low. But when you did this, when you focused in on each strand or topic that he learned that year, I think he was in 4th or 3rd grade, addition, subtraction, place value, algebraic thinking, operationals, all that kind of stuff. He was off the charts. He scored like 90% or above. But because he was in third grade, and no, he might have been in fourth grade, because I remember I wasn't going to teach him fractions. I, I was teaching him fractions, but I said, you know what, we're going to need a whole semester on fractions. So at the end of the first semester, instead of going forward with the rest of the curriculum that they were doing at the school, we sat on fractions forever. So no, I don't think that's right. I think it was multiplication. Child, anyway, how it came out, no, we set on fractions the following year. So that third or fourth grade year, we just focused on long division, multiplication, and division. So the test covered fractions. So he did poorly on that because I had not introduced that to him, nor had I taught that to him. So all his other scores for all those topics were on point. But because he had like 2 months of not doing the work that they were doing in school, that brought his test score down. I was elated when I was at our IEP meeting. I'm like, cool, he's right on pace, because that's his pace. And his pace demonstrates that that is the formula for success. So I say all of that to say, I did a placement with him. This is when I was slowly transitioning into Beast Academy. So I did a placement with him, and I saw, like, for subtraction, he could subtract, but when it was 2 or more zeros, he crumbled. He couldn't subtract with zeros. Or with multiplication, there were, for some reason, triple digit multiplication was easy for him, but double, like 3 on top, 2 on the bottom, was hard for him. And come to find out, that little space on the bottom, where, just the space, because there's only 2 digits on the bottom, that was his spatial awareness. It was throwing him off. Also, other little things. For all of my sons, I would see that, oh, you know it, but you don't really know it. You know enough to kind of, if you were given 1 or 2 problems, you could do it. But if you had to incorporate that into other problems, you're a little shaky, baby. So I gave all of my children assessments to see how strong that foundation was. My oldest son, he is almost 4 grade levels ahead. When he was in 4th grade, this boy, what was it? I think it was something in fractions, but he was doing it in a weird kind of way, I guess his way. But I noticed because he was doing that, I was like, let's go back to your division, because I'm seeing some stuff here. And he was just like, when you divide, he was like flipping, I don't even know. But he didn't do it all the time, only for certain setups. So I would just think, oh, he just got it wrong. Maybe he was rushing. But doing a placement test and sitting down and seeing, oh, okay, you really don't have command of this thoroughly. You don't have mastery of it. Then I said, okay, so we're going to do placement tests, and I'm going to pick curriculum levels. This is where you get your ego out the way, because my middle son is going into 6th grade, and he's doing Beast Academy 4. Now, I know Beast Academy is the hardest curriculum out there, and Beast Academy, the scope and sequence goes from 4th grade to almost 7th grade. But I put him in 4th because he's not solid. He's not as solid as I know he needs to be, because I know down the road, I know what that math classroom looks like. So I'm like, if we have to spend 4 months on ratios and percents and decimals, that's what we'll do, ego aside, because y'all know I'm nosy. I ear hustle. I've been to so many math meets, competitions, classes. I've been around a whole bunch of different kind of math families and math mindsets. And the one common theme I've seen is a family where they want to gloss over gaps in their students' learning and just say, oh, we'll just pick that up and and move along. And it really trips their children up. And the children who are perfectionists, they have a whole messed up mindset. So I was like, you know what? I'm seeing these brilliant kids, and they don't have a firm grasp on negative numbers or fractions or decimals or even subtraction sometimes, because they don't do it all the time. So they forget. So off that long spiel. So free placement tests. I listed Beast Academy, Horizon, Saxon. I try to do all the popular math curriculums. I have, I said Horizons, Math, Mammoth, Math UC. Oh, okay. So when my child, my middle one, when I saw he was having some gaps, like with subtraction, I went to Math UC. You know what? I should do a video just on Math UC. I still have all their curriculum and their videos. It worked wonders for him. Come to find out, Singapore and Beast, great ways to approach math, but Math UC broke through to him. By the third time, seeing it a different way, he got it. He got it. So sometimes you have to try a different curriculum if you're constantly having problems with your child retaining what they're learning. That's another video too. So so the purpose of a placement test, you're going to know how much your child actually really knows, and it's going to help you choose what math book to get, okay? Now, for the subscriber who asked about their third grader, she was asking, should she go back to second grade? I say go back to first grade. I'm not even kidding. There is a video or documentary of this teacher in Southern California. He had a whole bunch of Black and brown students, low income Title IX or Title I school, and he raised their math scores so high. So, you know, he was a modern day Martha Collins in a way. So all these, you know, people came and were like, what's your secret? What are you doing? And he said, and the kids were, I want to say 6th grade or 5th grade, upper elementary or early middle school. No, they were in middle school. And they said, what did you do? He said, ego aside, I put every last student, the struggler to the 1 or 2 rock stars that I have, and I put them in 1st grade. He might have started them in kindergarten, and we did everything up into their grade level. And when they took their standardized tests in the spring, they aced them. So I can't remember his name. I got it saved in my YouTube playlist. If y'all remind me, I'll dig it up. But if you type in Khan Academy, math teacher, California, I'm sure it's going to come up. And it's a long little documentary too. The good thing is he gives you his lesson plans and how he does it. He gives you, okay, if you start at the beginning of the year, this is what you do. If you start like in the middle of the year, this is what you do. You know, so he gives you some different options on how to do that. And I seriously considered doing that this summer just to see, you know, because my kids, they don't always do the math every day. They're not always doing subtraction, multiplication, division, fractions all the time. Heck, if I don't record a video for about 2 weeks, I sometimes forget how to edit and push some of the buttons to make this all happen. So if you're not constantly doing it, you're going to forget it. So I definitely want you to know if your child is struggling. First step is, if you can, go down 1 grade level that they're currently in. In this woman's case, she is in Canada. That doesn't make that much of a difference. I say 1st grade because you can blow through 1st grade really fast, okay? It's not like you're going from 7th to 8th to 9th. 1st grade, you know, that's going to help build your child's confidence up. So I actually prefer going below 2 grade levels, get that confidence up, because they're going to be like, what? This is, you don't have to tell them what grade it is, but if you do, they can just blow through it, get their confidence up, and then probably toward the end of 1st grade, maybe the beginning of 2nd grade, you might start seeing some gaps, but you've already built up experiences of them being able to do, I just burped, excuse me, of doing the math. So I definitely recommend, no shame, if your child's in public school, make it something they do after homework and on the weekends. Yes, weekend work, because, you know, you got to get them, not that they're playing catch up, but you want to get their mind right, because math can start to snowball really, really quickly, okay? So you don't want them to get too far behind. So I would say start 2 grade levels, go through the first level, you know, fairly quickly, and the second one go a little bit slower until you get them up to their present level. I think there was something else I wanted to say. I think that's it. So once you know where your child is with the placement test, you can start to kind of customize your curriculum. So if you see your child is struggling with double-digit multiplication or long division. You can start pulling resources to focus just on that. You know, I like Evan Moore for to kind of keep the skills sharp. There's skill sharpeners, and then there's daily practice. I like online games like Dreambox, Beast Academy, not RIGHTSTART, Extra Math, I forget. But you know, so online things to kind of keep their chops going. Also, don't sleep on YouTube videos. I've seen a lot of videos. Make yourself a playlist, a math playlist, and look through videos that you think are engaging, that are for that specific topic, because they are out there. And then compile a list of videos. So whenever you have some free time, your child has some free time, you know, a quick little 5-minute video, something that's catchy, that's going to grab their attention to help get them to retain what they're learning. A lot of times children just need to be taught a different way, or they might need to be taught the same way, but they don't get it until the 5th time. Y'all all had kids. You know how it took you like 72 times to offer your child a vegetable before they started to like it? I think that's the rule of 72. So really don't freak out about it. If this teacher can take 30 plus students that are below grade level, and get them up to grade level within 9 months, and that's in the classroom with all the other things that that teacher has to do, you can do it with your one child, okay? Don't forget, you can you know, do some stuff on the weekends, some stuff during the holidays. I would make it fun stuff, like fun games, so it doesn't feel like your child is just overwhelmed with math. So anyway, so that's just a quick, semi-quick video on free math placement test. And I'm doing this like really quick off the hip. So if you guys have any questions that I am not even considering right now, let me know, because I'm about to go out into my garden. I have like 50 million cucumbers, tomatoes, kale, collard greens, and a whole bunch of watermelon I need to harvest. And I'm trying to get my kids to come out with me. But my husband, I wonder if he's home yet. He needs to get rid of this wasp nest, because my kids are afraid, because I got city kids, not country kids. The kids are afraid to go out there because of the wasp, Mom. So I'm like, oh, child, I'm going solo out into the field, about to soldier on. So I need to go out there, pick my produce. I'm canning for the first time this weekend. I've been saying that for about a month. I'm going to can, but I'm scared, y'all. I don't want to blow up the house. So if any of you guys happen to can, send me a note of encouragement. I've been watching Lead Farmer 73. Those of my fellow gardeners probably know him. And he's got me really encouraged. Oh, my blend right here. Okay. Let me do this. Fix it up. All right. So I need to take my glasses off, though. So anyway, if you have any questions, let me know. I am going to do a follow-up on Math UC, because I forgot that was our go-to when my son was struggling. Oh my gosh, I had no idea what to do. But Math UC came through. That's why it's still on my bookshelf. I ain't getting rid of it. I might have grandkids. I'm keeping all my math stuff. They're going straight to my grandkids. You never know. Any questions? Any questions? Don't be shy, y'all. Usually y'all be having a whole bunch of questions. So is there anything else I can add about math placement tests? Now listen, I haven't done all those math placement tests. Saxon, MAMMOTH, I haven't used yet, but I've heard so many good things about those programs and the tests that I put them down in the description box. So check those out and see what works for you. Okay, so if you're wondering, you're new to this and you're like, well, which test should I start with? I can't really recommend that. I can only recommend what I've used. But if your child's really struggling, I think Saxon and MAMMOTH are good starting points. They're not as rigorous with their curriculum as some of the other programs are. So I might start with that. Maybe do a Google. There are a couple of YouTube videos. I think Homeschool On, I forget her name, but I think she has a video where she compares all the math curriculum. Definitely Kathy Duffy reviews if you want to just like read briefly about each of the math programs. I know it's work, but guys, it is what it is. If you put the work in now, you know, what do they say? Measure once, no, measure twice, cut once. Get the placement, get the knowledge in first, so you don't have to keep double dutching, back stepping, moonwalking back and forth with what you're teaching your child. So there are no more questions. I'm going to get out of here and do some gardening. If you guys would like to see me vlog in my garden, let me know. I got a nice garden. It's small, but it's nice. It's providing food for the family. So I am out with all this bad lighting. And I'll see you guys on the next share. I hope this helped you out, subscriber. If you still are wondering which of the placement tests to use, just send me a DM, and I'll try to